Hey coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip and another episode of our guest coach series. Today we are joined by Coach Morgon Holden, the offensive coordinator at North Valley High School in Southern Oregon. It's kind of near Grants Pass and Merlin. And so they are the North Valley Knights, and he's going to tell us about their quick pitch from under center wing tee. But before we get to Coach Holden, let's pay a few bills. Let's talk about some stuff. Don't forget, Football Talk with Coach Chip is brought to you by Just Play Sports Solutions and their My Just Play app. Remember, all the diagrams that I've done for you since the spring of 2021 have been done with their My Just Play app. Create playbooks, diagrams, scout cards, add video to your playbook, and the players get an app on their phone. If you get the team package, which they have more than one package, I've got the individual package and they've got a bunch of others. The app is on their phone, so you don't have to print a playbook, a game plan, anything like that. Oh, going back to your scout cards, you can bring it up on your iPad or your device and show it to the kids in the huddle. You can do it, break it down by color. So you can say, all right, you're the red guy today. You do everything the red guy does on that card. But the cool thing to me is several cool things. One is the way you can animate your plays by adding a video to it. So you can show them the diagram and then they click on it on their phone and there's a video of that play that you've attached. So that is so cool. You can upload clips from your huddle or your quick cut. And guess what? When you're having a team meeting, they're going to have their playbook and their scouting reports with them because they take those cockeyed phones everywhere. And when you leave a program, the Just Play, it goes with you. The stuff that you build in it, it goes with you. So check them out today. Contact my buddy, Coach Brad Rumsey, at brumsey@justplayss.com. Or you can contact Coach Rumsey at 517-937-5433. You see it right there on the card. Just pause it and check it out and see what Coach Rumsey and the good folks at Just Play Sports Solutions can do for you. All right, the gunpowder spread system, still going great guns, only $100, over 500 pages on how to install it. Everything you need to know is right there for you. Goes into great detail. Again, over 500 pages. The second edition was just put out about a month or two ago, and I'm going to update it periodically. It is an ebook, so you just save it onto your computer, onto your device, onto your phone. You can share it with the kids. You can share it with your coaches. Bring it up on the big screen. You get a free wristband creator on an Excel spreadsheet where you just type in the stuff, populate the cells, and you have wristbands. And that's good stuff too. If you're like me, you do not know how to program those things. So one, it's already pre-programmed for you. And if you don't know how to do it, you're going to have to talk to somebody besides Coach Chip. Football is my area of expertise, not cockeyed computers. But hit me up. I'll send it to you for a trial run. If you like it, you pay me. If you don't, you delete the thing from your computer. You can't beat that. So email me at seagle.chip, S-E-A-G-L-E, seagle.chip@gmail.com to get your copy of the GPS system for only $100. By the way, I've got 3 other premium resources, Jet, Buck, and the Offensive Line Manual, plus an offensive line manual in paperback, that if you want all 4 of those, only $150. Speaking of the L manual, you can find it on Amazon, or you can purchase it directly from me. If you get it from me, it's $30. I'm going to charge you an extra cent if you deal with me. You go with Amazon, $29.99, but I think if you're not on Prime, you got to pay shipping. You order it from me, I'll just send it to you right here from beautiful Pine Mountain, Georgia, and I'll cover the shipping on my end, and you'll get the ebook so you can bring it up. I had a coach a while back that sent me a screenshot of him, not a screenshot, just a picture of him with his feet kicked up in the coach's office, and had the manual pulled up on the big screen, and he was about to have a meeting and was going to use the ebook. So for $30, you get the ebook and you get the OL manual. Both of them come with video links. Of course, in the paperback, it's QR codes. So the things that I show you in the manual, you can see them being executed. Some of them are just video clips of those blocks being executed, and some of them are teaching videos of me walking and talking you through it. And that is only $30. You can't beat that anywhere. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel right now if you're not already a subscriber. We're getting close to 5,000. Let's get it there. Get her done, boys. And if you subscribe, you have access to all of these free resources. I'm not going to sit here and read them to you. All of these resources are available to you on this page for free by being a subscriber, easy for me to say, to Football Talk with Coach Chip. And check out the podcast. Coach Holden, who's about to speak to you, was a guest on the podcast in season 1. Go back and check that out. The episode number escapes me right now, but go ahead and check out that. Be sure to follow it. And if you have an idea for a video theme or a podcast guest, contact me at seagle.chip at gmail.com. Thanks to Brian Hale at Hell Yeah Digital Designs for the beautiful theme music that we have as our intro music here on the YouTube channel and on the podcast that you can find on Spotify, Apple, and wherever else you get your podcasts. So check that out as well. And later on, we're going to have a little commercial that pops up during the video for Just Play Sports. It gets into great detail of what they can do for you. Go ahead and pause this, screenshot it, and you can refer back to it. And this is the most awesome coaching tool that I've used. And I say that not because they're our sponsor. I say that I paid for it for years before we entered into our agreement, and they decided that they wanted to be a part of the Football Talk with Coach Chip family. All right, don't forget, go over to buymeacoffee.com, buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip if you want to give me a tip. I've had guys that I've done stuff for with Google Meet, just a consult, guys that I've talked to on the phone. Next thing I know, boom, they've bought me a few cups of coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I will find something liquid to purchase with that money. I can assure you of that, Hoss. All right, without further ado, let's go to Coach Morgon Holden, offensive coordinator, going to tell us about the quick pitch and how he does it from under center wing T. Let's go to our conversation. All right, coaches, as I told you in the intro, our guest today is Coach Morgon Holden. Morgon is the OC of North Valley High School up in Merlin, Oregon. Some of y'all may remember him from back in season 1 of the podcast. And Coach Holden, he is a dynamic, outstanding young football mind up there in Southern Oregon. And he's going to talk to us on the guest coach series of Football Talk with Coach Chip about his quick pitch game. All right, Coach Holden, take it away, man.
Hey, thank you, Coach Chip. I'm excited to dive into this topic. We're an under center wing T team. And one of my favorite plays out of this wing T is quick pitch. So I wanted to just kind of go over that. Real quick, in case anyone wants to contact me, there's my email through the school and then my cell phone. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but if you have, specific questions about it, please text, call, anything like that. Okay, so why quick pitch? Here's just some of the reasons why we started running this. Number one, it forces defenses to defend the entire width of the field. That's really important, I think, for a wing T offense. It's hard enough to prepare and defend everything that we do, but when you have to defend the entire width of the field, I think it makes that much more difficult. It helps get our best athlete the ball quickly out on the edge and in space, which is always a good thing. Typically, our best players are at running back, so anytime we can get them out on the edge, that's very important for us. It reduces the need for sustained blocks. Typically, with us being a small 3A school, our linemen oftentimes are undersized. That's why we're wing T. So anytime you can reduce the need for sustained blocks, it's a benefit to us. It maximizes our athletic linemen. Like I said, they're undersized, but they're typically pretty athletic. And so I'll put my most athletic linemen at quick tackle, where we do a lot of the pulling to the outside. It neutralizes pressure. Teams cannot really blitz us because of this play, and you'll see what I mean when I start showing film. My favorite reason why we run this play is the built-in margin for error. As you'll see, a lot of times these plays outside aren't blocked perfectly, but we'll still pick up 5 or 6 yards just because you've got an athlete out in space. And then the last thing is it forces defenses to play leverage over gap integrity, which I think is a huge benefit to the offense. With everything a wing T can do with trap and buck and all those things, if their first steps are have to be sprinting towards the sideline, worried about quick pitch, and they're not playing with gap integrity, then it just opens up everything else for us.
What you said about the forces the defense to cover the width of the field.
Yeah.
When the spread became a thing and everybody was throwing those fast screens, I said, that's just the guns version of a quick pitch.
Yep.
And so that the under center rocket, as I call it, quick pitch, that's what it is. It's like an under center. It's getting the ball to the perimeter right now. It's turning a play from scrimmage almost into a broken field situation. Putting your best player. I always like, if you got a good punt returner, try quick pitching him the ball and turn 1st and 10 into a punt return situation. Get his butt in the open field and let him go. Yeah, I love it. Let's go.
Yeah, and just to add to that, Coach, one of the reasons why we do quick pitches. I love the fast screen stuff, but a lot of times at a small school like ours, we're under center wing T oftentimes because our quarterback may not throw the ball the best in the world. So, when he turns to open up and throw those quick screens, sometimes we don't know if it's going over the receiver's head. Yes. So this quick pitch, we know we could pitch that. We could find someone to do that, and it's on the money every time. So it's just it's a good play for us. So just some benefits. I've done the stats the last 3 years that I've been the OC. Quick pitches average 10.1 yards per carry over the last 3 seasons. And we run it about, on average, 7 times per game.
70 yards a game from one play. That's pretty damn sporty right there, Coach Holden.
Yeah, it's a great play. It can be ran to the field or the boundary. So we run it into the boundary all the time. It's not one of those plays that has to just be ran to the field. We run it both to the strong side and the weak side, and I'll kind of diagram and show you how we do that. And then there's simple ways to tag and adjust this play within our system as well, which I'll also go over. Okay, so just looking at this is kind of one of our base formations. A lot of wing T teams will call this L or, blue. There's a lot of different names. We call it black, which just means strong left. So the tight end and wing are over here. We're a strong side, quick side team. So you'll notice I've got a diagram with our strong tackle, our strong guard. And we put our best player right here at quick tackle. I know a lot of wing T teams probably put their best guys at their guards, but because you'll see if you watch both videos why my best dude's always here. But it's very simple. Our split end, so most of our plays, he's in a little bit tighter than most wing T teams. Most wing T teams will have their X out pretty wide. We bring him in tighter for this crack. It's always there. And his job's just to get this overhang. So this would be like a 4-2-5 defense. I just put a standard even front up here. But we get a lot of different looks. But we make it real simple with our rules. This X is going to take on this overhang, and this quick tackle is going to pull to the corner, and we leave this end unblocked. This guy's fast enough to get there, and this guy better be able to outrun this end. If he can't, we need to find a new running back.
That's right.
And then we've got this fullback. We have him running into the alley. So you'll see we've got a lot of guys out there on the edge, and it's a good play for us.
Let me ask you, your split end split, do you give him leeway, like you can get as close as you need to get to execute the crack?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I just tag it. I have a tag where, I'll tell him tight or wide. So if it's a specific player, I want him a little bit wider, it'll be tagged on the wristband. But he knows, I mean, they get so good at this because we run this play so much, and they know who they're supposed to block, that they'll get lined up. They know how much depth they need to execute this play. And so I let them play with it. So yeah.
Does your quick tackle, when he pulls, does he turn his belly button to the sideline?
He does.
Yeah, that's what we did. I got that from Navy, I think, back in the day.
It works.
Yeah.
So one of the simple tags we'll do, so very similar to last formation, but if this backer right here, this play side backer is a dude and he's fast and he's scraping over and making tackles 3-4 yards at the line, we'll just flip that wing that was over here to this side, and his responsibility is to get into this little area right here and wall him off. So you'll see some plays where this guy makes the tackle and then we adjust and bring him over. So we flip him over here and then he'll pick this guy off. We just add another blocker. So that's one of our simple ways to adjust within this. Quick pitch strong. So again, we pull with our tight end. So we'll come to the strong side. Looks very similar. We're just covering the tight end here. And we'll just pull him. And the tight end will do, the corner block instead of the quick tackle. So pretty similar, but we can run it strong or weak. So you'll see.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So you can run it to this, because you flip your line, right?
Yep. We flip our line.
I thought I remember you telling me that last year. So
Yep.
You can still run it strong, so they can't get a beat on you. So, okay, they're always going to quick pitch to number so-and-so.
No. And so a lot of teams will put their best defensive end, on our quick tackle, and they'll split him out kind of wide where he can try to pull and get in this puller's hip. And so you better have a fast guy on this side too, because we'll just quick pitch to our tight end the whole game if you're going to do that.
Very good.
So, we could do the same thing here where we bring the wing over to the tight end side. If this guy's still, play side backer is a dude, a lot of times we'll motion him over. I'll show that a little bit later, but we'll run it on 2 and look like we're going to run jet. And the defense jumps about 50% of the time that we do that. So that's one of the ways we'll do it. And then last year we actually came up, we said, well, you know what? Since both of these guys can pull, why don't we get in a formation where they're both over there and we pull both of them? So we call it super quick pitch. So we come in, it's kind of a funky formation. It's unbalanced.
Oh, my.
All we have is a guard over here in our wing. And so we're unbalanced over here, and we actually widen this guy out to where he's behind the quick tackle. And we'll have like a long pitch here where we'll pull both of these guys out there. And you'll see we come to the line fast and snap the ball. And most of the time the defense is not lined up correctly, and we have a huge edge to run this to.
Yeah, because you break the huddle. When you do go unbalanced, do you kind of rush to the line of scrimmage so they won't have time to identify it?
Yeah, so our guys will sprint to the line and then snap it on the first sound. So on the D of down, that ball's snapped. So, teams know that, and they're getting lined up quickly against us. But, if you watch my next presentation with all the shifting we do and stuff, they don't know if we're snapped it on the first sound, if we're going on 1 or 2. We vary the snap count so much, that we keep teams off balance.
That's good. That's good. I got one question before you move on, and I don't want to get ahead of you, but it pops in my head. Where does your back catch the pitch generally? Because when we did it, we put a cone like a yard outside of the end man, and had the quarterback just like pitch it to a coach, and then we'd bring the running back in and have him take off. And we left a cone there. It was one of those tall cones, like those 3-foot traffic cones, and we told him to pitch it right over the top of that cone. And that way we were catching it at the point we wanted to catch it at, so we didn't have to block the D end. Do you have a specific, or you just tell them to take off?
Well, we tell him to take off, but the rule for us is he has to stay, if you can see my cursor here, he has to stay flat down the line. If he starts moving forward, then he gets in danger of the ball hitting one of these pullers or something, causing a fumble. So he has to stay flat. And, we try to get the quarterback where he hits him in stride. He doesn't have to turn back and slow down or anything like that. So it takes some practice, but you'll see the way we pitch the ball is probably different than most teams. We don't reverse pivot and then underhand toss it. We basketball toss it out there very quickly. Kind of like that guy, Blair Hubbard. He does that fast on the fly stuff. That's how they pitch that ball out of shotgun for what he calls their rocket. We do the same thing under center. And it's been really good for us. A lot of our quarterbacks play basketball, and they do that basketball toss all the time. So when I, show it and explain it, it's real easy for them to do. And you'll see the ball gets out there pretty quick. And I think it's actually better to do it this way.
I never did that. I've visited with Blair, and I'm going to have him on one day.
Yeah.
At a clinic. We spoke at the same clinic several years ago, and so we kind of talked apart from everybody. And I asked him about that. And I told him I used to run it. And we always did. We even called it the fling. I mean, because we flung it. It was fling left and fling right until we got to the rocket name came into vogue. But I've never done it that way, but it makes sense. I mean, I think it's more accurate that way, isn't it?
I think so, and it gets out there faster. I mean, when I was in high school, we ran the veer, and this is the way our coaches had us, doing quick pitch. So when I started running it here, that's all I knew, and that's how we did it. And I think it's worked out really well for us. I guess the downside to doing it this way is, when you're doing that reverse pivot underhand, you can do more things off of it, where you can run the down and the belly, and it looks more natural. So I understand why teams do that. But honestly, with how fast this play hits, if I wanted to run belly or something underneath it and do that reverse pivot, those guys just see that back moving and they're going. It doesn't matter what the quarterback's doing. You're not really tricking coaches. You're tricking high school kids. So
that's right. Hey, coaches, let me tell you about our partners over at Just Play Sports Solutions. All the play diagrams on Football Talk with Coach Chip since the spring of 2021 have been done by the My Just Play app Just Play Sports Solutions created. You can find it at myjustplay.com. Team packages, individual packages, which is what I got. With the team package, you create your playbooks, you make scout cards, you can add video to the play so the diagram literally comes to life. The players get an app, they put it on their phone, so you don't have to print any more playbooks, any more game plans, any more scouting reports. And since players never go anywhere without their phones, their playbook is always with them. Contact my buddy Brad Rumsey at brumsey@justplayss.com, brumsey@justplayss.com, or call him by phone at 517-937-5433. Tell him Coach Chip sent you.
Let me go to my quick pitch huddle. So here, I'll start off just kind of with my first presentation. This is just our base formation. So here we're facing a really good football team, Cascade Christian. They're a private school here in Oregon. They've been on top for a long time. We're just running quick pitch. So we're lining up. This is just our black formation. So we've got the edge right now. We like this. So his responsibility is just going to be to crack down on him, and we're going to pull this guy outside and get our fullback into the alley. And you'll see there's margin for error. Our receiver's not going to get a great block on him. But because this play hits so fast, you'll see sometimes it doesn't even matter. So the ball gets out there fast.
It's jumping.
It's jumping?
Yeah. It does that sometimes. Try it in slow motion.
Okay.
Jump.
All right. So is that better?
I think so.
Okay. So in slow motion, we're just pitching the ball out.
Yep.
We got our tackle pulling. And we're on the edge.
Oh, I can see now and I was wondering that on the diagram. The back is beating the fullback out there, but the fullback's not trying to get in front. He's trying to pick off guys coming out of the middle, right?
Yep. He's just trying to get in the alley and help get in the way of anyone so we can get the edge.
That's kind of like us with our guard. People say, why you pull your guards on Jet? Because they can't get in front of him. And I said, they're not trying to get in front of him. They're trying to beat the linebackers to the perimeter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing here. This was at the end of the game. We've actually got our backups in. So you'll see our receiver didn't do a great job here. But we're just trying to run out the clock, and we accidentally scored a touchdown here. We didn't want to, but even with not a great block with the X here, he blocks on this defensive lineman who we don't want to. You'll see this play still. There's room for error when you're getting a fast guy out in space. So you'll see the fullback kind of get into the alley.
Got the edge.
Yeah. Got the edge. We got guys downfield, and I mean, it just hits so fast that if you're not really covering every blade of grass, there's room to run. So we scored here. Again, still just our base play. The receiver does a better job here on a good angle, getting in the way. And another thing I want to point out is one of the reasons why I put my best dude at quick tackle, obviously, because they're pulling, but these guys that got to come up and play the edge, they got to really, it's usually a corner who's the worst tackler on the team, and they got to make a business decision. Do they want to get hit by this pulling lineman? Because if they do, oftentimes you'll see them just get depleted. And so they got to think about that. Sometimes it's their quarterback too on defense. So you'll see a lot of these guys just get taken for a ride.
Yeah, and that's the way we did it when we were doing the rocket and doing it to the motion guy. We blocked it pretty much the way you did. And what I told my guy is just keep moving, because if that guy's dancing, he ain't tackling.
Right.
If he's moving around you, sometimes that big old boy just being out there in the way in space is a block. Because a block to me is you keep somebody from making a tackle. That's a block.
That's a block. And our tackle that was doing this, he did this for the last 3 years for us, was a all-state lineman. Because of this play, he got really good at shielding defenders and kind of understanding the leverage and where to go. So here you're going to see a good example. This guy, is doing what he's taught. He's going to come up and be a forced defender here and pay the price. So he comes up, does what he's taught, and it doesn't work out well for him. So
he chose poorly.
So, is every play going to be a touchdown? No. But, for us, a wing T team, a 6-yard gain is good.
Yeah.
So we're down here on the goal line. I think this was like 4th and 1. We were facing a really good football team. And, again, they've got their quarterback here setting the edge. And you'll see it's kind of more of the same of what I was talking about. He's got to make a decision. If he's going to come up and play force, he's going to pay the price. So we're just going to walk in. So now this is a reason why I put this one on here. So I was talking about, you'll face teams when you run this play as successful as we have been on it. There's going to be teams that are doing everything they can to take this play away. They're going to line up their overhangs, try to get them inside your receiver and spike through. And, sometimes you're going to have really fast linebackers who can scrape over and make the play. So this guy right here was a very good linebacker. He had 15 or 16 tackles this game against us. And so we're going to run this play, and you're going to see him scrape over and make the tackle, I think, 5 yards downfield. And so I'll show you one of the tags we do after I see this. He goes right under our polar, and he makes the play. And so we're going to come right back to that going into the boundary, but now you'll notice this wing is over here. So his job is going to be to kind of get through here and try to wall off that linebacker from getting there. And he does a pretty good job. So you'll notice he gets into the alley here, and he's in front of him. That's enough. Even if he doesn't block this dude very long, just getting in his way like that is enough for us to get around the edge, and a 5-yard gain turns into a 12-yard gain for us. So those are just some of the ways that will take care of those fast linebackers that can scrape over and make the play. And so I've got some clips now, with this wing over here, what he's trying to do. I tell that wing, obviously we want you to get in the way, for at least 1 second, but even if they take a bad angle and just reroute this linebacker's path, that's a win for us. So you'll see he doesn't do a great job here, but if he just alters the route of the linebacker, if he even has to think about it for a second, that's enough for us to get the edge.
Yeah, he made him go flat. Yeah, even with the bad angle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how fast this play hits. If you can just cause a bad angle or anything, it's enough for us to get the edge. So that's why we'll flip that wing a lot of times. And if, coaches are watching this and they're thinking, well, what other things do you do off of this? And you can contact me. We have a lot of other plays that look like this, but we're not running quick pitch. We're running other things. A lot of our offense is still available. So again, just more of this quick pitch look where this wing's over here. And you'll see he does actually a really good job this time of getting in the way. And then corner comes up to make the play and pays the price. So it's a really good play for us. Now this is a great example again on my PowerPoint. I was talking about built-in margin for error. On this play, nothing goes right. This is a quarterfinal game this year against a team that beat us in week 2. We ended up beating them pretty good in the playoffs to get revenge. But they knew us real well. They're in that 46 bear front against us, like true Buddy Ryan bear front. And this guy's going to spike through, and our receiver is not going to get that crack block on him. He's going to kind of get in the way of the tackle and blow this whole thing up. But the thing I love about this play is even with all that, we're still going to get 5 yards because you're getting the ball out on the edge. I mean, look at this right now. This whole play is doomed because of this inside release. So he's messing up the play, but we still get the pitch off, and you're getting a fast guy the ball. He's still going to pick up, 5 or 6 yards, even though they did everything right. And so it's one of the reasons why we really like this play, and it's been good for us.
That was a good job, him not cutting back. Keep it outside, man. Keep it out. That's a good job.
Yep. And just some of the ways we get to quick pitch a lot of different ways. I come up week to week with different motions and things to start in one look and end up in another, just to get kids' eyes thinking about other things. So we'll start off in this kind of double wing, what we would call our green formation. So tight end to the strong side. And we're just going to motion this back over here, and we'll get that same flipped wing look. So he'll go on motion. I think this is like week 1. We don't do the greatest job blocking it again, but we're still going to pick up, 5 yards. It was a bad pitch. But I mean, 5 yards to us is a good play. I'm very patient as a wing team play caller. If I can get 5 yards, I'll put together a 15 drive play and eat up the clock. So I'll take that all day.
There's something that you demoralize a defense when you stick it down their throat that way. Yep.
And we're happy to do it because it keeps our defense off the field and limits possessions. And so it's good for us. So just another look, again, just we'll motion to it sometimes. He's just setting up. And one of the things I really like about quick pitch too is obviously we want to get to the sideline, but defenses know that and they have a say too. So a lot of times they'll try to box this in and force us back inside, and that's okay too because these guys are good athletes. So sometimes they'll cut it back inside instead, and that's okay. We're still picking up, 13 yards. So we'll run it a lot of different ways. A lot of times it'll get outside, but sometimes we have to cut it back inside, and you'll see that early on. We'll cut it back in. Sometimes we'll cut it back out. But it's been a very, very successful play for us. And another look here. So a lot of times our quick pitch will go to our halfbacks, but our fullback, isn't involved other than a blocker into the alley. So if we have a fullback that we really like, because for us in the wing T offense, we don't look at the fullback as a big, powerful bruiser. We want our fullbacks typically be pretty small and quick guys for trap and things like that. So if we want to get him involved, one of the ways we'll do that is we'll come out and just kind of run the old school bunch toss quick pitch. So we've got that here. We've got the tight bunch, and we're just going to pull the tackle and toss it to our fullback just to get him involved. So this is another way we've ran quick pitch in the past. So quarterback will actually reverse toss on this one. And what I love about this play is our tackle here this is the first time we ran it. And he actually is supposed to be cutting into the alley here, but he goes outside. But again, if you're getting a fast guy the ball on the edge, it still works out all right for us.
How deep was your fullback, Coach?
Oh, we had him for this particular play. We had him like 7 yards deep.
So he's like a tailback, I formation tailback. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was just a new wrinkle. We hadn't shown this yet. We were facing an opponent and thought this would be a new little wrinkle to come out and show. And so if teams are looking for different ways to run quick pitch, this is just another way we did it. So anyway, he takes it to the house. Again,
and you're blocking it the same as when you ran it to your halfback.
Yep. Everything's the same for the lineman, just, different look, different formation. Then obviously you got to have things you do out of this bunch formation, pass plays and different stuff that we do out of it. But this was in a quarterfinal game a couple of years ago. We brought it back out, and this time we block it correctly, and it's a good looking play. The tackle goes where he's supposed to. Again, we really liked our fullback this year, so we wanted to get him involved. Get these athletes out in space and let them do their thing. So it was a good play for us.
I can see wingback counter out of that formation.
Yep, that's something we do. Another way we get to it, we ran a lot of jet. I love jet. We do a lot of jet to the strong side. So we'll give this kind of stacked look out here like we're running jet, and we'll motion him and then just have him go to a linebacker and crack. And obviously not the old school crack. You'll get a penalty call. Just get in their way like a basketball screen.
Right.
So we'll motion him, and then we're just pitching the ball out. So there's a lot of different ways to get to it. If you do commit to quick pitch like we do, we have a variety of different ways each week that we'll get to it. But just running it from the base formation is fine because you're just lining up on what you'd run buck sweep and down and trap and everything else you do. So, okay, so just a few. I'm obviously going to get into my shifting and all the things we do on the next slide, but I do want to show one of the reasons why we do the shifting and all the things we do is to get to quick pitch. So these are just some of the ways. So we'll line our guys up, and you'll notice we'll disperse to the line quickly, and then what we're trying to do here is when we shift, we're trying to get the defense to just slide to the right a little bit so we can run quick pitch. So you'll notice all these linebackers, everyone's kind of moving this direction, but we're running quick pitch back the other way. And even this guy right now, you'll see him wanting to take a step inside, just that little bit of a step, but we're running to the outside the opposite way. So now we're running quick pitch back away from the shift. And we do a lot of that. We do a lot of shifting to get to quick pitch. Again, we're coming out kind of more of the same. We're going to motion and shift. We're getting all that defense to slide, and then we're just running quick pitch.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, good job by the running back, staying flat. Yeah, kept his distance.
I mean, teams are defending it well. They're boxing it in, but we're still getting 8 yards, and that, again, is really good for us. Okay, so here we're going to shift again. A lot of times we'll come out and we'll be unbalanced, and all we're going to do is move. Well, you can't see it here. He's shifting right now at the beginning. So we're just we started unbalanced and we came back. And again, you'll see this guy, he's cheating inside, trying to spike in, and you'll have guys that are trying to spike over the top. You know, teams are doing everything they can to take this away, but if you practice it enough and you put your best player at quick tackle, you'll see this guy does a good job scraping over. I mean, this is a quarterfinal game, and we take this all the way to the house.
That was a good job waiting on his block.
Yep. I mean, and our running backs love this play. If you ask them what their favorite play is, it's quick pitch because you're just getting them out in space. And again, more of the same. We're coming out unbalanced. We're going to shift. We're just bringing guys over. Now we've got that kind of tight with the wing over there look. And right now you'll see them communicating, trying to get set up. And we've just got all this green grass to toss the ball to. So we'll do that. And you'll see
there's nobody there. Oh my gosh.
So we have a lot of different ways we get to this play, and we believe in it.
I bet that running back's eyes were big as saucers when he saw all that grass.
So quick pitch to the strong side. One of our favorite things to do is when we're running it to the strong side is, oftentimes we'll run it on 3rd down, 3rd and 5, things like that. And the other team, like I said, they jump 50% of the time when we run this. So what we're going to do is motion this guy across, and we'll run it on 2 and hike the ball where we'd normally hike it for jet. And why we like it is because a lot of times they'll jump, but if they don't, we've still got a play that we like. We're just running quick pitch strong. So you'll notice he'll come across, and we've ran it a couple times on these guys already, so they don't jump, which is fine because we're set up to run a play to the strong side. So now our tight end's the one that's pulling. instead of our tackle.
Look, there it is again.
And so he's just going to read it. And it's a good play for us. So we've got so I put this on here because one of the reasons why I really like this play is it makes it really difficult for teams to blitz us. If you're going to bring pressure up the middle with your linebackers, if we are running quick pitch, you're in big trouble. So we're actually running this into the boundary with a blitz coming. And, what teams try to do to take this away is, they put their best guy, they put their best guys at these two ends and try to, scrape down with the play. But you're getting your running back, your best athlete out in space on a D lineman, and oftentimes you're going to win that. So this is a tight pitch that we're going to do here into the boundary. And, they're doing a good job. They're pressing our receiver. They're doing everything they can to take this play away. But you'll see, even when it's defended well, we still make things happen. So that D lineman just misses, and they were blitzing. And so we're going to take it all the way to the house.
Hey, I noticed that didn't your your wide receiver, didn't he stalk the corner then? So you do stalk if they're walked up in your face?
Yeah, if they're walked up in our face, we'll stalk it. Yeah, we have rules for specific things. So if he walks up like this, we're just going to take him where he wants to go and work around it.
And look, there's no help coming from the inside. There's no linebacker there.
No,
I've never understood that. When we used to run the jet and the rocket, and people would get in these funky defenses, I said, "You're wasting those guys." I said, "Please, throw me in that briar patch."
Yep. So this is that super quick pitch where I was telling you we're going to be unbalanced, and since we can pull both our tight end and our quick tackle, we said, why not just get in a formation where we can bring them both over and pull them both? So this is the first time we've shown it all year. We're getting to the line quickly. I mean, you could see how they're aligned right now. I mean, they don't know how to align to this.
Dude, if you ran the belly or the down to your fullback right there, he's hit his head on the goalpost. Look at the bubble.
I know. And so we're just pulling this outside. And I mean, you could see that they're not aligned correctly. It's a big pitch, but we got both of these pullers out in front of them now. Two of our best players. And we've got the edge. This is what we're trying to do. When you face North Valley, they want to get the edge, and we find a way to do it. So I've just got some clips now of that super quick pitch where we're unbalanced again. They're not aligned correctly either. It is a pretty long pitch, but you just got to practice it. And again, we just get the edge.
I love the way your quarterback follows the ball. On that one, you could see him do it. I used to teach that too. Follow the pitch. Yeah.
Yep.
Like following your shot in basketball.
Yep. And this team, again, they're not aligned correctly, but they put their best player, this corner out here, was actually pretty physical. We don't run into that very often, but this guy was good. And so they're doing their best to box us in, but we teach our running backs, they can cut it inside too. So we actually kick him out and we just cut inside of it. Down on the goal line, this play is really, really tough to stop because at this point, you're just telling your running back to find a gap to run through and get into the end zone. Just a couple more clips of super quick pitch, how we do it. There's a variety of ways that we run it. We believe in it. Down on the goal line, a lot of times if we're going for two, we run it. Again, we just tell our running back to find that gap to dive through. It's only a couple of yards, and he usually finds a way into the end zone.
It's a great short yardage play. Navy used to run it into the boundary all the time on the goal line, especially the way you block it because you're getting bodies out there.
Yep.
And they load up the inside on the goal line, 2-point conversion, whatever, and now you're getting outside. It's a great short yardage and goal line play.
It is. It's been really good for us. And we really like this formation too. And I'll show you on our shifts and stuff, but forcing teams to get aligned to this unbalanced look with only one guard on the backside of the play and then shifting out of it has been kind of a nightmare for teams. So this is the last one. Again, we're just running it. We're looking to get to the edge. And on this particular play, I was actually a little irritated with my running back because if he just stayed to the outside, we're walking in, but he cuts it back in and ends up getting tackled. But again, just finding ways to get to the edge. If you're an under center wing T team and you're struggling to get the ball outside, and the only thing you've got is rocket. I think this is a good play. So if you have questions about it, I want to know how we do it, how we teach the blocking, anything like that, please reach out. So that's kind of all I have for this, Coach.
Well, Coach Holden, thank you so much for coming on Football Talk with Coach Chip, the guest coach series. And guys, go down below and check out. I'm going to have his information that he had up on the screen at the beginning of his talk. I'll have it down there where you can go email him or hit him up. Coach Holden's a good dude. We've been talking, I guess, over a year now.
Yeah.
When we found each other on the interwebs. And be sure to go to the companion video where Coach Holden is going to go through his shifting, how he does that. And, I've done several videos on the on this YouTube channel about shifting, and I think it's underrated. I think guys like me that went no huddle years ago kind of got away from it, but now you're seeing more of it as people are huddling again and things like that. To me, shifting is a lot easier when you huddle. I don't know why, but to me it is. But anyway, check that out as well. Hey, coaches, until next time, y'all be elite.